Students, welcome to Anupam Public School and College channels. I hope you all are fine. Today I am going to teach you Social Studies History part. The first chapter of history for the class 6th is what, where, how, what, where, how, and when. In this chapter, you can wonder how could anything be known by anyone that happened so many years ago. You could have played in the garden, read a newspaper, you could have listened to the radio, watched televisions, read a book. So someone asked, who remembers? But what about long ago? Let us see what is the solution to this. So first topic will discuss what can we know about the past. What can we know about the past? In this topic, many things are there we can find, like eating habits of people, the type of clothes they wore, the houses in which they lived. So other aspects about the lives of hunters, musicians, merchants, craftsperson, herders. Herders means one who looks after a herd of livestock. Rulers, farmers, artists and scientists, etc. can also be found. The games played by children, the lessons they are taught, the stories they heard, the plays they are, the songs, the plays they saw, the songs they sang, etc. can also be discovered. Means what? That the many things we can find, like habits of peoples and the houses in which they lived, lives of hunters, farmers, priests, merchants, etc. can also be found in these chapters. So the children who are playing, the game they play and the song they sang can also be discovered. Now, where did people live? Long ago, or in the olden times, people used to live. For many hundred thousands years, people lived along the banks of the Narmada river. Most of the people who lived along the banks of this river gathered their food and were called gatherers. Gatherers means for many hundred thousand years people live along the banks of the Narmada river. The people who live along the banks of this river gathered their food and they are called gatherers. Means the people who lived on the bank of the Narmada river, they gathered food. They are called gatherers. Next, first, where did people live? First point. Now second point is, first point I have completed. Second point is, around 8,000 years ago, men and women first started to grow crops. 8,000 years ago, men and women, they first started to grow crops. Means, as you know that the first our occupation was agriculture. Now such as wheat, barley in some of the years located here. People lived in villages and also used to rear animals like sheep, goat and cattle. Second, men and women, they first started growing crops. Means more importance given to agricultures. And the people who live in villages, they rear animals like sheep, goat and cattle for their economic so that they can improve the economic conditions. Third point is what? Third point, the places lying to the north of agriculture developed in this and some more other areas. So slowly agriculture develops and their economic conditions was also improved. People used to travel from one part of the subcontinent to another. The journeys were difficult and dangerous at times because of the hills. Journeys, people used to travel from one place to another places. But at that time, journey was very difficult, very dangerous also. So why? Because of the hills and mountains, there were no plain roads, including the Himalayas, desert, rivers and seas, but never impossibles. Therefore, in search of livelihood and to escape from natural disasters, like flood or droughts, men and women move constantly at times. To escape from natural disasters, people have to move constantly from one place to another place for their livelihood. Now next, over several hundred of years ago, people have evolved themselves and shared new ways of carving stone, composing musics and even cooking food. Our next topic is names of the land. Names of the land. In this, India and Bharat are the two words often used as names for our country. The word India is derived from the Indus, known as Sindhu in Sanskrit. In your atlas, try to find Iran and Greece. Names of the land में India and Bharat. They are the two words which use as names for our country. The word India is derived from the Indus, known as Sindh in Sanskrit. Next, finding out about the past. Next heading is finding out about the past. There are many sources and ways of finding destiny. Sorry. Fourth, now we will discuss our fourth heading is finding out about the past. In this, we will discuss that there are many sources and ways of finding out about history. There are many sources and ways finding out about history. There is two words, manuscript and inscriptions. So reading and searching books that were written long ago is one of them. First book, manuscript. Manuscript means what? There are many sources and ways of finding out about history. Reading and searching books that were written long ago is one of them. The books which were written by hand. The books which were written by hand long time ago are known as manuscript. The book which was written by hand long ago, which were written by hand long time ago are known as manuscript. Long by hand, long time ago are known as manuscript. This is the definition of manuscript. The books which were written by hand long time ago are known as manuscript. Means written records. The historians find written records. The word is called manuscript. Now in this, the word manuscript is derived from the Latin word meaning is hand. Usually objects like palm leaves. In olden times, there were no pages. They used to write on the palm leaves, which was found in the Himalayas. On the usually objects like palm leaf or the specially prepared bark of a tree known as birch. Birch means the written records they used to write on the palm leaves. Written records was found in this on the manuscripts which was written on the palm leaves. Now which grows in the Himalayas were used to write the manuscript. Palm leaves found in the Himalayas were used to write manuscript. Now next, inscriptions. The inscriptions means inscription can also be studied to know and find out more about history. Inscriptions are writings. Inscriptions are writings which are written on hard surfaces such as stone or metal. Inscriptions are written on stone or metal. Inscriptions are written on hard substance like stone or or metal. Now, our next discussion is about one past or many. In this book will regularly talk about past. The word past is used in plural form in order to focus on the fact that the past was different for different groups of people in different ways. Yes, it is true that past was different for the different people and for the different groups of people in different ways. The lives of craftsperson were different from the lives of the merchants. The lives of craftsperson is different from the lives of the merchants. The lives of farmers or herders were different from the lives of kings and queens. People believed and followed different traditions and customs in different parts of the country or the world, which holds existence in today's world as well as. Now next, what do dates mean? What do dates means? If you are asked about date by anyone, probably the day, month and year. Example 2000 and something might be mentioned by you. If someone asked you about the dates, you will answer that you will probably day, month and year. You will say that thousands and sometimes something might be mentioned by you. So continue. The counting of these years is usually done from the date accredited to the birth of the founder of Christians, Jesus Christ. Therefore, 2000 would signify 2000 years after Christ's birth. Date can be mentioned by two ways. Two types. BC, before Christ, and AD stands for Anno Domino. Dates are mentioned by BC and AD. AD stands for Anno Domino. And as you know that after excavations, many things were found like pots, coins and birds, bones of the animals, bones of the human beings. But archaeologists found all those things. But how? After excavations. After excavations or digging under the earth surface. Digging under the earth surface means excavations. So, what all things like objects like tools, weapons and pans, ornaments, coins, etc., bones of the animals, birds, fishes, all these objects were found by the archaeologists after excavations. Excavation means digging under the earth's surface. So you can write down some questions given on the board, given from the board. What is the meaning of Indus in Sanskrit? Your first question is, answer the following questions. What is the meaning of Indus in Sanskrit? Second, what do you mean by manuscript and inscription? What is the difference between BC and AD? Your last question. Inscription notice. What is excavation? So children, subscribe this video. Thanks.